Philly, North, me, I got something that I need to prove. I cannot lose, nah. Everything I do that really is news. You look confused, why? You are what you choosing to do. Me, I've been making the moves, paying my dues.
The time for bullshit is done. The time for talking is done. Time to put your money where your mouth is, fellas. Let's dive into week one. First of all, quick recap about Baltimore and Kansas City. Biggest takeaway from this game, Todd Monken was by far the biggest loser of this night. He completely abandoned not only the running game, even though the first drive they established the running game. Derrick Henry is one of the few running backs that has the ability to make defenses forget for a second that Lamar Jackson is also on the football field. Once he did start getting bottled up, Lamar spit out the side just like I thought it would be, and he was wide open for a 20-yard run. So he did not utilize them at all. But how does this happen? How does Justice Hill get more snaps on the football field during a one-possession game than Derrick Henry? This was never a pass-only, you're down by 20 points, we got to hurry up and score situation. They had this game at the palm of their hands, and they fucking blew it. Todd Monken called one of the worst offensive games that I have seen in a long time, and I expect that to be dealt with this week. John Harbaugh did not look happy. Todd Monken completely blew this game. With that said, Lamar looked electric. Lamar looked as advertised. Lamar looked like the MVP. Lamar looked like the guy who was still pissed off and could not wait to get his shot back at this Kansas City Chiefs team. So, clearly, it's personal to him. And I'm here for it. I love every single bit of Lamar Jackson scratching and fighting and clawing and doing every single thing that he could despite being completely abandoned on the football field by his offensive coordinator. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry had the defense sucked up. They had them right where they want them, and they never took shots. They never left Derrick Henry in the game long enough to truly establish exactly what they wanted to do in this football game. They abandoned everything that they stand for as far as a ground and pound, run it down your throat. Once you get sucked up, we're going to take that deep shot down the field team. They completely abandoned that. They tried to go tit for tat. Everything that they was doing was going east and west. You have a run down your throat, smash mouth running back in Derrick Henry, and if you want to go east and west, it's got to be off of play action. So they had them right where they wanted them. They have Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers who can take the top off of defenses. They took no shots. At one point in time in the game, the announcer said that they was averaging 1 yard down the field per pass attempt. Everything was dink and dunk screens that wasn't working, and their offensive line played like shit. Kansas City's defensive line, their front in general, dominated this football game, and what was left was Lamar Jackson putting the entire team on his back. He kept this team in this football game, and he deserves all the credit in the world for his effort. With that said, Lamar just cannot make the play when it matters against the Kansas City Chiefs. They never get blown out by this team. It's always a good game. But, man, you don't get more open than Zay Flowers was, and it was a layup. And Lamar didn't just miss him. He threw it 4 yards behind him. It was a horrible throw, and it was so wide open. So, as good as Lamar did play, they had everything go wrong. I felt like Baltimore was in complete control of this football game. But once again, one quarterback and one team makes plays when it matters. The other does not. So, two other quick takeaways from this game was that I was right about Xavier Worthy being the next Tyreek Hill, and I drafted him in like the 8th or 9th round in 4 out of 5 of my money leagues. So, literally felt like I stole him. One thing I did see is that nobody else started him. I had the balls to start him, and it ended up working out. So there's going to be a shitload of things that I do over the course of this season most people would consider questionable. I guarantee you a lot of them will not pan out. But I'm so glad that I went with my gut on Xavier Worthy. How do you have record-breaking all-time speed and not put that shit on display week one? Another thing that I was right about was that Mark Andrews continues to be overpaid for. I did not expect Isaiah Likely to have the involvement in this offense that he had at all. But Mark Andrews with 3 targets and 2 receptions for 12 yards or whatever the fuck it was. I mean, a lot of people drafted him in the 4th round. And in salary cap leagues, a lot of people were spending like I think it was like a tenth of their salary caps. So if you're in a salary cap league or an auction league and you spent 10% of your salary cap on this tight end, like I feel really bad for you because he's healthy. There's nothing wrong with him. Isaiah Likely is available in like 80% of fantasy football leagues, so you need to be on the waiver wires like yesterday.
No, me, I got something that I need to prove. I cannot lose, nah. Everything I do that really is news. You look confused, why? You are what you choosing to do. Me, I've been making the moves, paying my dues, getting this done with the fam. Y'all know that I am the dude. Bend that low, hit that high, got that hustle, got that drive. One more time, best alive. I want it all.